a weak teenager with a strange haircut and a selfish playing style. The announcers say his name wrong because they are not interested in him. But the teenager has grown and turned into a destructive monster, a legendary trickster. He is able to turn the strongest league in the world into a circus in 6 seasons where he performs his entertaining shows. It's an insult to the biggest and strongest defenders in front of all the fans of the game. So, prepare yourself, my friend. Today we will talk about one of the most beautiful and touching stories in the history of football. We will talk about the story of Ronaldo from his beginning with Sporting Lisbon to his arrival in the terrifying Red Devil version of the English Premier League. It's important that you complete the video to the end because there are major turning points in Cristiano's career that you may not have heard about before. So let's start in 2002. The Portuguese club Sporting decided to promote some young men to the first team, and among them was the strongest Portuguese talent at the time, Ricardo Quaresma. Another player nominated to be promoted to the first team was Cristiano Ronaldo, a weak teenager who tended to protest and play individually. He had a strong influence on the team, but there was an incomprehensible need for Cristiano and his style of play. And this thing was that Cristiano was attractive. His personality as a player was older than his age, and his hatred of losing was unnatural. As a fan, you loved to watch the ball with him despite his influence. But the question here is why Cristiano was more showy and tended to show off like Brazilians, even though he was a European player. Let me explain to you now, because Ronaldo was like the most Brazilian players. As he grew up in a poor family, and his father was an alcoholic, and Ronaldo himself was not interested with his education. He was blind to his studies, or even his education, and he does not do anything except play football all the time. All these factors forced Cristiano to be a random player who tended to anger and selfishness in his early days. The first report made by Bologna, the coach of the Lisbon team at the time, was in which he said that Cristiano had all bad characteristics. His defensive ability is weak, his ability to jump high is also weak. Ronaldo also suffers from excessive selfishness, poor concentration, and his physical structure was also weak. All of this made him not have the capabilities to be a player in the first team for Sporting Club, and because this report, Cristiano did not participate in the 2001 to 2002 season, a disappointing start for a young player who was only 17 years old. But remember, my friend, that I told you that Cristiano's personality was too mature for him to take a report like this negatively and be affected by it. In the following season, Ronaldo was promoted to the first team because he became physically stronger and faster. Bologna put him as a winger. The first goal that Ronaldo scored with Lisbon was a global goal. This goal was against Real Betis in a friendly match. And let me surprise you, my friend, that the director who was filming the match did not know who this player, and from here his participation began in the Portuguese League and in the Champions League, and the first goal he scored in the Portuguese League was against Morns, and it was also a legendary goal with an individual effort. During this period, Ronaldo's agent, Jose Vega, was a rather bad agent, so this agent could not. Comes with big offers for Ronaldo, but here comes a person who changes everything, and he is Jorge Mendes. This person was able to convince Cristiano and Quaresma to become their agent and market them to the largest clubs in Europe. So the 2002 season ended, and at the beginning of the 2003 to 2004, Jorge Mendes warned Sporting Lisbon that if Ronaldo's participation was limited, he would receive offers from other clubs. The offers at that time were many, including an offer from Liverpool, an offer from Arsenal, and from Valencia, and from Inter Milan. But Ronaldo was very close to joining Arsenal until he joined Manchester United. And if you think that Ronaldo moved to United because he played a strong match against them, then I would like to tell you that you do not know anything. So now let me tell you. Ronaldo received an offer from United after the first season he played for Sporting Lisbon, and this was a suggestion from Carlos Queiroz, Alex Ferguson's assistant. But the offer included a clause that after buying Ronaldo, he would stay at Sporting Lisbon for 1 year on loan. This was due to United's desire for Ronaldo to gain experience, and then he could come to the Old Trafford. Ronaldo's transfer to United was agreed upon, and the two clubs decided to play a friendly match against each other on the occasion of the opening of the new Lisbon Stadium. In this match, Ronaldo knew that he was going to the Red Devils, so he wanted to give them an overview of his potential. Ronaldo entered the match with legendary confidence. And we can say that none of United's defenders were able to stop Cristiano's threat. Every ball he received, he took a shot at any defender in front of him, to the point that one of the defenders during a break between halftime went into the dressing room and told Sir Alex that he could not take the ball from Cristiano. And this was the first time Sir Alex Ferguson saw Cristiano in front of him. After this match, Sir Alex Ferguson came out and said that this was the greatest wave of excitement and anticipation he had ever experienced in his entire life. Sir Alex then made an offer at a higher price to the sporting club to include Cristiano without any loan. And here, Cristiano finally moved to the Red Castle so that the most beautiful story begins. Ronaldo, after his transfer, asked to wear the number 28, but Sir Alex refused and wanted to let Ronaldo wear the number 7, the number of legends in the Manchester club, like George Best and Eric Cantona. And David Beckham, Ronaldo's first participation with the number 7, was a legendary moment. The audience sees a skinny young man standing on the line wearing the legend's number 7. His name is Ronaldo, like the Brazilian phenomenon, and his facial expressions are also arrogant, and Ronaldo finally touches the field and caused a penalty kick in favor of Manchester United, and there is no ball he touches unless it is dangerous for the opposing team. And here the enthusiasm of the crowd has increased, and Ronaldo's confidence increases every day from the day before. So you can imagine that this skinny young man eluded one of the biggest defenders in the English Premier League at that time. This is Ashley Cole. This made the defenders attack Cristiano forcefully, and these were dangerous interventions that could have caused him serious injury. In addition to all of this, we must remember that Ronaldo had a weak body, and sometimes he would lose a lot of balls when it came to clashes with the defenders. Other than that, some of his teammates did not like his selfish playing style. On the top of them was Ruud van Nistelrooy, who was Man United's top scorer before Cristiano came. After Ronaldo came, Ruud van Nistelrooy's opportunities decreased and his passes decreased, so this caused a great hatred between him and Cristiano. And in the end of Ronaldo's first season, he played a legendary match in the FA Cup final, as Ronaldo was able to prove his performance and play on both the right and left wings. He was able to help the team with excellent passes and scored the winning goal with a header. And here ended Ronaldo's first season with Manchester United. And Ronaldo joins the Portuguese national team and goes to play in the Euros and gives an amazing performance as a young man who is only 18 years old. And he remains one of the youngest players to play in the Euros. But unfortunately, Portugal lost on its home to Greece, and this was one of the most difficult moments for Ronaldo in his career. But then, Ronaldo returned to Man United in the second season. When Ronaldo returned, Sir Alex's assistant described him as having returned as a man this time and had developed physically, to the point that Ronaldo's facial features had completely changed. And the 2004 season begins. Everyone noticed major development in Ronaldo's performance. He shot from far with great force with both legs, the right and the left. But the same flaw remains in Cristiano, which is excessive selfishness in possession of the ball. But overall, Cristiano was improving terribly, and there was one match in particular. Cristiano's true personality appeared during the match between Arsenal and Manchester United in the English Premier League. Thierry Henry committed an unforgivable mistake and was the first to provoke Ronaldo. But he did not know that Ronaldo would punish everyone, as Ronaldo scored 2 goals in the victory over Arsenal. He made a comeback for United and played a great match, making all United fans respect Ronaldo. And in the last match of the season, which was also against Arsenal in the FA Cup, Ronaldo gave a legendary performance like the match that was before it. But unfortunately, it was Arsenal that won this time. And United lost the cup, and the season ended without any championship for Manchester, a 0 season. Ronaldo's numbers with United in the first 2 seasons were somewhat weak. However, Ronaldo's numbers could have improved, and this would have happened if he worked on ending attacks and tried to remove from his mind scoring only beautiful goals. And Ronaldo's 3rd season began with news that destroyed him psychologically, which was the shock of his father's death. So he started the season psychologically unstable, and his behavior was increasingly aggressive. And this became clear against the match between Manchester and Benfica in the Champions League. And in the matches that followed, most of the team hated Cristiano because of his lack of passing and his selfishness. So if you followed him, during this period he did not want to leave the ball. But here, Sir Alex Ferguson intervened so that he could get Ronaldo back on the right track. And Ronaldo had a world-class season, and he was able to surpass himself. and his numbers improved over the first 2 seasons due to his ability to contribute 21 goals in 41 matches. But Ronaldo still has not matured enough. The season is over, and we go to the World Cup 2006 in Germany. Ronaldo exceeded all expectations and gave a very great performance. But let us ignore Ronaldo's performance. There, let's focus on that wink that Ronaldo did in the match. This wink caused a lot of tension for Ronaldo, and it could have ended Ronaldo's career disastrously. With Manchester United, in the match between England and Portugal in the round of 16, the match was very difficult, and suddenly Rooney caused a foul to one of the Portuguese players. Ronaldo took this opportunity to mentally take Rooney out of the match, but what happened was that Rooney became angry, which led to the referee to show him the red card, and then Ronaldo winked at his coach and his team, Portugal. But unfortunately for him, this wink was photographed, and after Portugal won this match, it was eliminated from France in the quarterfinals, and after that, the English media began to charge the England fans against Ronaldo. And they said about him that he was a bad person and that he was the reason for the departure of the England national team. And here Ronaldo was put under very strong pressure, and it was as if he was close to leaving Manchester United and going to the Spanish club Valencia. So you can imagine if such a thing had happened, we would not have seen the version of Ronaldo 2008 to 2009, and this would have been due to the English medias. But Sir Alex, as usual, was the one who intervened and saved the situation. He was the one who convinced Ronaldo to stay at United, and relations began to improve again between Ronaldo and the fans due to Ronaldo's performance, as he has improved a lot over his previous periods, and this season in general was a season of great transformation for Manchester United. But despite all this, Ronaldo is still the same selfish young man who loves to dribble and possess the ball. But gradually, Ronaldo was able to overcome this obstacle, as there are some matches. He was the one who was deciding it alone, and here the sea of individual awards began to rain down on Ronaldo, as Ronaldo won the Player of the Month award twice in 2006, and he also managed to score his first 2 goals in the Champions League this season against Roma. But in this season, Ronaldo clashed with the golden generation of Milan. They were the reason for his exit this season from the Champions League. But one of the most important positives of this season is that Ronaldo was able to achieve his first English Premier League with Man United, and it was natural after this great season for him to win the Best Player award in England. And let me draw your attention to something important. In the first 3 seasons with United, Ronaldo scored 27 goals. But in the 4th season, Ronaldo scored 23 goals, and here the Red Devil appeared and spread terror in Europe. And now to conclude the episode, let us enter a season that many consider to be the best for Cristiano. This season is all legendary moments of goals, dribbles, shots, and titles. Before the start of the season, Sir Alex asked Ronaldo that he wanted to see an exceptional version this season, and in response to this request, Ronaldo intensified his practice of headers and shooting from far distances. And here Sir Alex's assistant came and asked Ronaldo. Ronaldo responded and said, "It is possible for me to score from 30 to 35 goals, but the assistant told him that he could score 40 goals, and this was one of the biggest challenges for Cristiano. In the first round only of this season, Ronaldo was able to score 24 goals, which is more than what he scored the previous season. The Red Devil exploded in the English Premier League, but Ronaldo knew that what will decide the Ballon d'Or for him is the Champions League, and indeed Ronaldo shined against all the teams in the Champions League, whether Barcelona or even Chelsea in the final, until the title was decided by penalty kicks in favor of United, and thus Ronaldo concluded the season with the English Premier League and the Champions League, and all the individual awards, and the most important of which was the Ballon d'Or. And let me tell you that Ronaldo was asked him to score 40 goals. But guess what? He scored 42 goals in this season, and by the end of the 2007 to 2008 season, Ronaldo seemed to think about going to Real Madrid, but Sir Alex refused and was holding on to Ronaldo, even for an additional season. And Cristiano agreed to Sir's request and stayed with Man United during the 2008 to 2009 season, and now began the 6th and final season. But the beginning of the season was bad for Ronaldo, as Ronaldo appeared at an inconsistent level in the matches, and also an injury caused him to miss a period of matches. All indications now that Ronaldo's season will be disastrous. But here Ronaldo's character appears, as he returned from injury and scored 26 goals, and won the Premier League for Manchester United again, and also in the Champions League, he performed a historic performance. And here, Ronaldo scored his historic goal against Porto, which won the Puskas Award. and Ronaldo continued to win a number of matches in the Champions League. Having reached the final match against Barcelona, with its golden generation, and against his eternal rival Lionel Messi, Ronaldo knew that it was his last match with Man United, so he wanted to make it the appropriate conclusion to win the Champions League. But contrary to expectations, Barcelona won the Champions League at the expense of Manchester United. And with the end of this match, Ronaldo's career with the Red Devils ended, and his career began in a new league with a team that was rebuilding itself. This is considered one of the most difficult decisions for Ronaldo, but also one of the most beautiful decisions because he made us witness the historical greatness between him and Messi and between Real Madrid and Barcelona. And here the story of the Red Devil of England ended and the story of Ronaldo, the King of Europe, began. So do not forget to share, like, and comment, and wait for the next video. It will be on fire.